Stop trying to help, because here's the truth. Being too nice is backfiring on you. In this video, I'm going to break down why you need to stop playing the role of the fixer and why doing less might actually be the most powerful thing that you can do. Here's a secret that I've learned. People don't actually want your help. What they really want is the courage to help themselves. Think about it. We all want to feel empowered, competent, and in control of our own lives. And when you are constantly stepping in to help others, what you're doing is unintentionally taking away their power. You're taking away their ability to step up and solve their own problems. Everyone has the power to figure things out for themselves, but if you're always doing the work for them, solving their problems and giving them the answers, they miss out on the chance to develop that skill for themselves. If you're always rescuing someone, they'll never learn how to face challenges on their own, and they may even start to rely on you for everything. You become their crutch, and eventually you become resentful because you're overextending yourself, helping them all the time. And for them, they feel disempowered and reliant on you for everything. And that is not a healthy relationship for either one of you. When you help someone too much, you stand in the way of their growth. Personal development happens when people make their own mistakes and learn from their own decisions. If you're always stepping in and rescuing them, they will never face the consequences of their own actions. And I know this is really difficult to hear, especially when you can see someone literally self-destructing before your very eyes and you care about them. But oftentimes, people need to learn lessons the hard way in order to grow and evolve. If you're constantly trying to save them from the consequences of their own behavior, you're just enabling their negative cycles. What you're doing is not saving them, you're actually blocking them from learning the lessons. A lot of the times, people will only learn when they hit rock bottom. And it sounds harsh, but rock bottom is a really transformative place, because that's when people decide for themselves that they have finally had enough and they're sick of themselves. And that's when they start to change and turn their life around. The second danger of helping people is that they don't take full responsibility and ownership of their life. When you solve their problems and do their work for them, they begin to disengage from their life. And guess what? When something happens, guess who they blame? They blame you. Because they're not taking full ownership of their decisions, they will turn around and point the finger at you whenever things go wrong. And that's because it's easier to make you the scapegoat rather than owning their decisions for themselves. And sometimes people are simply not ready to leave their toxic situations. They don't want to change and they're stuck in a cycle of self-sabotage. So for example, if someone's in a toxic relationship and you're trying to help them see, they might get really angry at you. I think we've all experienced some variation of this where you're just trying to tell someone the truth or trying to help them out of a bad situation, but they're not willing to face it and see the truth for themselves. So instead, they get defensive and annoyed at you, and suddenly you become the bad guy. So the solution to all of this is to recognize when to give your support and when your support is actually going to be useful. The key is to only offer help when it is both wanted and needed. Because if someone needs your help but doesn't actually want it, giving it to them will just make them feel like you're forcing them into something that they don't want, and you're taking away their autonomy. Conversely, if they want your help but don't actually need it, you're facilitating a codependent relationship, and they'll eventually get resentful at you about it, because what will happen is they will remain incompetent and continue to lack confidence in themselves. And so setting boundaries is crucial in this situation. If someone is not actively working on their own growth or taking steps to manage their own problems, you may want to consider pulling back. You don't have to stop being supportive, but it's important to make sure that your support doesn't turn into something they rely on to avoid their own growth. Ultimately, offering help should feel good and empowering for all parties. And whenever someone becomes over-reliant and dependent on the other person, it inevitably creates resentment. They end up resenting you for their own feelings of inadequacy and helplessness that you help them to perpetuate. And on the other side, you feel resentful for them for constantly having to overgive. Finally, one of the main reasons to stop helping people is that When you're constantly giving your time and energy to others, you're taking that away from your own growth. All of that energy that you're investing in solving other people's problems is energy that you could have invested in yourself and used to better your own life. So I'm not saying that you should stop being a kind person or stop helping people completely. But what I am saying is it's important to wisely choose who you help and how you help them. Just make sure that you're helping in ways that empowers people and encourages growth and independence. There's this old saying, don't give a man a fish, teach him how to fish. If someone doesn't want your help, just let it go. And most importantly, only help people who are taking responsibility for their own life and actions. If someone is constantly wanting you to rescue them and stay stuck in the same patterns, you're just enabling them. It's wasted energy. But if somebody is already doing the work on themselves, then helping them tends to be fulfilling for both parties involved. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you've ever helped someone and been the bad guy, because this has happened to me so many times. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.